just what I'd do if the Lord wasn't walking by my side. Well, I was drifting under the sea of despair, and I was wondering if your heart was there. And Jesus found me in a sinful life. He heard me praying, and now I'm singing a happy song, because I'm happy as I go along. And I don't know just what I'd do if the Lord wasn't walking by my side. What would I do if the tears fill my eyes? What would I do? Oh, when it's my time to die, I'd be lonely, discouraged, burdened all the way. If the Lord wasn't walking by my side every day, I'd be so friendless, I'd be so helpless, and I don't know just what I'd do if the Lord wasn't walking by my side. What would I do if the tears fill my eyes? What would I do? Oh, when it's my time to die, I'd be lonely, discouraged, burdened all the way. If the Lord wasn't walking by my side every day, I'd be so friendless, I'd be so helpless, and I don't know just what I'd do if the Lord wasn't walking by my side every day. If the Lord wasn't walking by my side every day. All right. I thought I would do that song because it kind of fits, because he's walking by my side. I don't know what I'd do without him. That's a great song from the How Great Thou Art album. Are you ready for a good gospel show today, ladies and gentlemen? How many of you here have been to a gospel show here in Tupelo before? So you know how we do it. The format's a little different, but the message will be the same. The songs will be mostly the same. So you're going to have a good time with us. And before we get started and bring out the first guy, I want to tell you a little bit. I went over to the birthplace this morning. I went ahead and packed up early. On gospel days, I don't sleep much because God's working in me. I get real jittery and stuff. So I thought, I'm going to go over to the birthplace, to where the chapel is, where the fountain is, kind of center myself. And so I just took a few minutes and just thought about Elvis Presley and his effect on this world and how it all started. The first songs Elvis ever heard was gospel music, gospel songs. First time he ever played or seen a guitar was in church. Think about that. The effect this man has had on our lives all started with gospel music. So God knew what he was doing then, and he knows what he's doing now. So Elvis has changed everybody in this room at some level or another. And we're all here today to honor him in his gospel music. Are you ready? Let's do it. It's a job. And he's one of the best down-to-earth people I've ever met. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brandon Bennett.
So this song's title is, well, if you don't look any deeper than it, it's just a couple of words. I believe. I believe we all have a choice given to us by our Creator. You have a choice you can make every day about how you feel, where you want to go, what you want to do. I think that's what this song is all about. I believe for every drop of rain falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe of the storm, the smallest prayer can still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a newborn touch a leaf or see the sky, then I know I believe, I believe. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know I Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's been an honor to be here with you this week, and we hope you had as much fun as we did. And I don't have a whole lot to say about this next song, but I love each and every one of you, even those of you that I haven't met yet. And and we hope to see you again next year. I hope to see you again next year. Not that this is the end of the show, I just want to have the opportunity to say that. So anyway, we're going to go ahead with this next song. It's one of my all-time favorites. When the storms of life are raging, stand by me. Stand by me. When the storms of life are raging, stand by me. Stand by me. When the world is tossing me like a ship out on the sea, thou rulest wind and water, stand by me. Stand by me. When I'm growing old and feeble, stand by me. Stand by me. When I'm growing old and feeble, stand by me. Stand by me. When I do the best I can, and my friends misunderstand, thou never lost a battle, stand by me. Stand by me. Thou never lost a battle, stand by me. Stand by
Mr. Brandon Bennett this morning. So Brandon knows I'm about to do it. If you haven't seen this, we kind of did this in Memphis after the guys sang their songs. I thought maybe you'd like to know a little more about them. So I come up with some questions, random ones, one that you haven't heard before. So I'm going to ask each guy a question or two, and they can take it wherever they want to take it. Okay? So, first question for you, sir. What song, don't have to be gospel, what song has inspired you the most?
Whew. You know, that's a tough one for me, right?
That's the idea, baby.
Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna. It is tough. I love "If I Could Dream" because I think it's still as powerful today as it was 1968. "How Great Thou Art," of course, is a gospel number. It's just something that it's a song. Yeah. I mean, if you've got any doubts, got any worries, no matter how low that valley is, no matter how high that mountaintop looks, God can get you through it. That's how great thou art, right?
Yes, sir. One last question. What are you thankful for?
I try to start every day with a thankful heart. I'm not always the best at it. I'm human, but I find that when I'm able to remind myself to stay in that mindset, before I come on stage, I thank God for everything He's given me and my ability to do this, something that I truly love. I'm thankful for my kids and my family, and I struggle with whether I want to say this or not, but I feel like it is a testament to my faith, so I'm going to say it. A lot of you know the story of my youngest son, Nash. Today's his birthday. And my heart is full. I'm at peace. I miss him. I love him. But the way that I feel right now is nothing that I did. Nothing that I even knew I could ask for. He gave me what I needed. I just had to trust him.
It's perfect, sir. Thanks for sharing this, man. Good morning. Brandon Bennett, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get a little personal today, it looks like. To get started on time, I forgot to ask you, how great do I look today? I got a new jacket, man. I bought it here in town, believe it or not. I really did. If I look as good as I feel, then we're doing real good. I always get so excited on Gospel Day, and I'll be honest with you, what an extreme honor to look back there and see that on the screen. That just blows my mind, to be honest with you, because I still see myself as some young guy who's trying to, I'm a really mean young guy, but in my mind, I know how old I am. I get reminded backstage every time. But I still have those dreams and those ambitions of trying to prove myself, and so to be here doing this is really an honor. Let's keep moving along. Okay, this next young man, he's the reigning champion of the world. The greatest of all time. All this is coming from him. That's what he told me to say. The best there is. Nobody can even hang with this stuff. He said he's the greatest. He's our current Ultimate Elvis champion, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Mr. Cody Day and Night.
Have you almost lost
walking by her side, in his love will hide all the day through. When you get discouraged, just remember what to do. Reach out to Jesus. Come on and reach out to Jesus. I said reach out to Jesus. He's reaching out to you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I don't know how much gas I have. You know, these two songs, of all the songs that I've sang on Sunday at different Elvis festivals, Mr. David Lee gave me these two songs a couple years back, and I remembered I struggled so hard with the one that I just sang. And it always comes to me. I'm always nervous before I come out, but it always is right there. And so is this one. And this is probably one of my favorite Elvis gospel songs. Once I stood in the night with my head down low in the darkness as black as could be, and my heart felt alone, and I cried, oh Lord, hide your face from me. Like a king, I may live in a palace so tall, with great riches to call my own. But I don't know a thing in this whole wide world that's worse than being alone. Sing it if you know it, Tupelo. Hold my hand all the way, every hour, every day. Come here to the grave. Oh no, take my hand, let me stand where no one stands alone. Oh, take my hand, let me stand where no one stands alone.
Yes, Mr. Cody Ray. That's all you have left. The tank is empty now. Can you muster up a couple of answers? Okay. Well, listen, we'll do this. You nod for yes or stomp. You want to stomp? Which one's better for you? You look marvelous, man.
You look great. Doesn't he look fantastic?
I know. What I would like to ask him is, how does it feel to win the ultimate and all that stuff? But he's been asked that about 400 times, and he has this standard answer that he gives. It's real boring. You get tired of hearing it. So we're not going to ask him that. We're not going to let him off that easy. I'm going to ask you, tell me about someone who changed your life.
Grandfather. It's difficult. I know that life is short, and Papa always lived life to the fullest. He changed my life, showing me the way, teaching me what it was like to be not only a great person, but a great man. And I'm very blessed to have had such an amazing grandfather to show me the way through life. And being here and not having him here and not having my grandmother is very weird. And I know everybody suffers loss. You know, it's part of life. It's part of what happens. But it's how we deal with those losses that defines us. And, you know, we live for the living, and we celebrate them when they're gone. And that's someone who's changed my life.
And I will tell you, I didn't tell the guys any of the questions, so as you hear them, they hear them. But that was a little bit of a setup. But I was at Papa's funeral, and Cody gave the eulogy, and it was beautiful the way you honored him. And he's looking down on you now, my friend. So let's do one lighthearted one, okay? Can we do that? Other than me, who's the greatest person you've ever met in your life? No, okay, no, sorry. Well, I had to remove the obvious stuff. I mean, why are you here?
To repent for last night. I'm just kidding.
That's, I'm in a little deeper than that, if you don't mind. Can you go a little bit farther there?
We all are.
Okay. Well, this is the place to do it, but I was hoping for a little something deeper there.
You said, why am I here? Because I love Elvis. I love Elvis. And I love that he was a man of the Lord. I love that. And he had so many different sides, truly. He had the rocker, he had the country music artist, he had the rhythm and blues side of him. But this side of him, you could hear it throughout every bit of his music, whether it was Hound Dog, whether it was Love Me Tender, or whether it was How Great Thou Art. So I'm here for Elvis, and I'm here for all of you.
That's awesome. Usually one-word answers aren't good, but Elvis, that works. Everybody understands that. This guy's one of my greatest friends. I love you, brother. Keep up all the great things you do. Cody Ray, ladies and gentlemen. And this next young man is, he's normally kind of doing what I'm doing. He's what I called originally the only non-ETA ETA. It's hard to say that too. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. I'm following you, yeah. But he's a huge Elvis fan. And we're gonna do a little talking with him too. Let's get him. He only has one song because he has one hit. And that was all he needed. So when it came time to assign the songs, he was the easiest one to assign the songs to. And I may be wrong, but I think his song only has one verse in it. Shouldn't call him out like that. But ladies and gentlemen, he is Tupelo. He is as much a part of Tupelo as any of us Elvis guys with the black hair and sideburns. The one and only Mr. Tom Brown.
God made everything, he made me, he made you. There'd be no birds, no planes to sail in the blue without his wondrous eyes to see them through. They say that God made land and he gave it all to man. This I know is a mighty good and true. There is no there is no God but God. I know this is true. God made everything. He made me, He made you. I'm using the stage. You see, there'd be no birds, no planes to sail in the blue. More back that way now. Lift His wondrous eyes to see them through. They say that God made land and He gave it all to man. Oh, this I know is mighty good and true. There'd be no God but God, and He knows everything you do. So just you call on Him and He'll share His love with you. So just you call on Him and He'll share His love with you.
Mr. Tom Brown. Thank you. My greatest hit. It's on my new album, Greatest Hit. You can pick that up in stores now.
Let's pick that up in stores now, and then just put it right back down. Yeah. I'm at all Stuckies next to the pecan logs.
So in the Elvis world, I have yet to meet anyone that you did not know. You are the most fortunate person I've ever seen Elvis world related. All of Elvis's Elvis Mafia. This man has Priscilla's phone number in his pocket. I'm enamored with that every time I see you. But yesterday, I met someone that didn't know you, that was in an Elvis film, and they didn't know you, but they do want to meet you. So, and I'm not telling you who it is because now I'm starting my own list. See, so I've got.
Oh wow!
I'll tell you backstage.
Wow.
There's a lady who was in Mrs. Elvis, and she would like to meet you.
Oh my God.
So, not necessarily a question. Well, I will phrase it as a question. So, over at the birthplace, there's this beautiful chapel that they dedicated in 1979, and there was an open celebration there, and there are some pictures floating around, and in the background, there's this scrawny-looking guy, it's probably only about 40 at the time, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Tom Brown was at that dedication in one of those pictures.
Yeah.
How did that feel to be there so close after Elvis's passing, here at the birthplace? A lot of people, we don't have that insight to know what that was like. I feel a special feeling when I go there. How did that feel that day?
Well, when I was growing up in the '60s, that was my youth center, as it was intended to be by Elvis. There was ice cream and there was ping pong and all kinds of stuff in there. And later in the '70s, just in '77 when he was gone, Ms. McComb, Janelle McComb, who was the big mover and shaker in Tupelo for Elvis, was personal friends with Elvis, had known him, and was friends of the family, and her husband Roy. And Janelle, Ms. McComb, and my mother were good friends. So Ms. McComb would be at my house a lot, and I would come through and go, hey, Elvis, Tommy says hey. Because I'm Tommy to everybody I grew up with. And one day she came in and she had a picture, and she said, I have something for you. And it was a picture from Elvis, and it said, to Tommy in Tupelo, love Elvis Presley. You know that. So I knew Ms. McComb, so I knew this thing was happening, and I was at there was a groundbreaking, and then 9 months later, there was the dedication. I was at both. And Ms. McComb was like, Tom, you need to stand behind me because I'm going to have the ribbon, and if you're behind me, you can get in the picture. Because that's how she talked. And it was Charlie Hodge and Dick Grove were part of the ceremonies. And they took some pictures, and my high school girlfriend was there, and she could see her perfect. You could see about half of my face, and I'm like, man, I could have just moved her out of the way. But I was at that dedication, and years later, when I got to know Dick Grove, he gifted me, because he had gotten all the photos, he gifted me with a book with all the photos in them, and I said, Dick, look right there. And I said, that's me standing behind you, between you and Janelle. And to me, that was something that she had that chapel built because she had asked Elvis, what do you want us to do in Tupelo for you? What can we do? And he said, I want the fans to just have a place to go that's quiet, sit and contemplate. I want them to have a meditation garden where they can go. And that's why that was built. If you notice, the next time you're in there, the pulpit that's there has a big glass behind it. And when you stand in front, things have grown, but directly behind the pulpit, through that window, is the birthplace. And you can see the whole house. and he just wanted a place like that. So that was in 1979. You know?
Awesome. Few people can say that, which is great on one hand, but also means you're getting old.
It is. It does. But as I said the other day, I love the young generation. I love the young generation that's coming into Elvis and finding him and making him their own, and what these guys have done with music to just make stuff exciting and different, never getting away from honoring Elvis and doing tributes to Elvis, but being able to include, you know, the younger generation, that thing, because Elvis will shine through. He hasn't left yet. He continues to find young people. And as I always say, I envy the young, but I was of the generation. I saw Elvis. I bought his records when they came out, and there's a feeling of that. I hold on to that. I waved to him driving by in a limo at the gate. You know, I was like this too. So that's what I had, and let's just keep it going for everybody. And I just want to be a part of, like you guys do, and like the band does, to just keep the music flowing forward.
That's awesome. I do want to add this real fast. I thought your opening remarks at the youth competition today were beautiful. He mentioned all their 18 contestants, and he said, you're going to see today, you will see a future Tupelo winner here. And I believe you nailed it, because all 18 did a good job. Of course, there's only one winner this year, but all 18 did a good job. One last question for you, and kind of a lot harder one. Let's remove Elvis for once here. Let's take Elvis out of the thing, because that would be the obvious answer. I know you're a record guy, an album guy. So if you were going to go home today, after this wraps up, you're going to put on one album, and that's the last album you're ever going to listen to without Elvis, what would it be?
And truly not because they were here. Anything by Booker T and the MGs. I love Stax. But I love Booker T and Steve Cropper on guitar. Green Onions.
Yeah, you love their lyrics.
Exactly. All those instrumentals that I don't have to memorize lyrics. But I love Booker T and the MGs, so probably that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Brown. The
Thank
one
you,
and
guys.
only Tom Brown.
David Lee.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's strange interviewing the interviewer. That was fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Are you enjoying yourself? It really needs no introduction, but I wish I would have thought to put it up there on the screen. I didn't think about it at the time. But I have a picture of him. I know you've seen some the other day, but I have a picture of this guy, man. I'm in this all pink suit. I look like a flamingo or something, but I thought I looked good. And he's under my arm, and he's only, I think he was grown, but he's only like this tall, it looks like in the picture. But so we go back a long ways, and his talent is unmeasurable. And I think you've seen that this weekend so far. The one and only, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dean Z.
Good morning. I will do my very, very best to sing for you today, because I did a little bit of a wild show last night. But I'm gonna try to praise a little bit this morning, if that's okay. All right. Give me that chord one more time, Mike. You saw me crying in the chapel. The tears I shed, tears of joy. I know the meaning of content. Now I'm happy with the Lord. Just a plain and simple child, where humble people go to pray. I pray the Lord that I'm strong as I live from day to day. I've searched and I've searched, but I couldn't find no way on earth to gain peace of mind. Now I'm happy in the child, where people are of one accord. Yes, we gather in the child, just to sing and praise the Lord. You search and you search, but you never find no way on earth to gain peace of mind. Take your troubles to the child. Get down on your knees and pray that your burdens will be light, and you'll surely find the way. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you. How are you this morning? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. I'm so happy that we've had another great Elvis Festival here in Tupelo. And thank you again for having me, y'all. I love Tupelo so much, and I love my Elvis family. Thank you so much for being here. And gang, I think this next song has kind of become one of those signature type of songs. And it's because Jeff always had me sing this song, and it means a lot. It's a beautiful song, and I hope you guys enjoy it. The message is beautiful because Jesus does not discriminate. So we're gonna try to live by His rules, you know, and what He set, those standards. And so I hope you guys enjoy this song. Listen to the words. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Splendor of heaven, knowing His destiny was a lonely hill of Golgotha, there to lay down His life for me. And if that isn't love, then the ocean is dry, and there's no stars in the sky, and little sparrows can't fly. Then heaven's a me. There's no feeling like this. If that isn't even in death, He remembered the thief hanging by His side, and He spoke of love and compassion, and He took him to paradise. And if that isn't love, then the ocean is dry, there's no stars in the sky, and little sparrows can fly. If that isn't love, then heaven's of me. There's no feeling like this. If that isn't love, it's got to be love. I had to loosen my tie to get the notes out today.
It's still early there, Mr. Walker.
There we go. Yeah.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Total, not on the paper, is true or false? Does George Clooney use you as a stunt double?
You know, if I get compared to George Clooney, I'm very happy.
He was the sexiest man in the world one year.
I mean, I don't mind being in that sort of company. That's very sweet. I've been told Pierce Brosnan. Is it Brosnan? I've been told that, and if I start to age like Pierce, I'm in good shape too.
Yeah, let's stick with George Clooney.
I'll take George Clooney though. I'll take it. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure you like what Jesse looked like Patrick Swayze the other day. So I think it's interesting how some of the guys.
Lord, he
look
really
so-
did.
Yeah.
He looked just like
Patrick Swayze's a good-looking guy. I feel weird all of a sudden here. So
He
got a
was
couple
handsome.
questions for you, young
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
Can you handle it? Can you handle it?
You know, I think I can. Yeah. I want to say first of all, before you start these questions, you're doing an incredible job, and I respect and love you so much.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. I'm just doing what I feel is right.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Dean. If I could ask you, what is something interesting about you that the fans don't know? I didn't say they would be easy.
Well, I think a lot of fans know I've got, you know, if I could be anything else in this world other than a performer, I'd be in wrestling. I would be a professional wrestler in some way. I would be a fan of, I would be a bad manager, like a heel manager, or I would be like that little guy that runs around and like, you know, distracts the ref while something bad happens. Like that would be my job. I've always loved the live action theater of professional wrestling. You guys know this about me? Okay, good. Okay, well, then here you go. So before I even saw Elvis, I saw Hulk Hogan. I saw Andre the Giant. I saw you know, the Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Sergeant Slaughter and all those guys in the 80s. I loved professional wrestling, and so I grew up watching wrestling. I watched every WrestleMania since WrestleMania 2. And I've aged with wrestling, and I still watch it because it's just so cool. It's a great storytelling thing. I absolutely love. The boys all know this about me back there, but I'm a big wrestling fan, brother.
Okay, another question not on the page then. Will you give
Body slam you? Yes.
Please. No, suplex.
Okay. Yeah. Profiling, diamond wearing, girlfriend stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun. Woo!
Awesome. I bet they didn't think they was going to see that at the
Off an elbow.
That's right. See, I didn't see that.
See, I can turn a gospel show into a wrestling show, y'all. I can do it.
And you just did.
I did.
All right.
Well, I've seen you do some wrestling stuff. You're a big wrestling
Yeah,
fan
I like
too.
wrestling,
We're both
yeah.
fans. A lot of the Elvis community love wrestling, and it's just an American thing, you know. It's just so
I
distinctive.
actually seen something about the Junkyard Dog. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize he died in 1998. He got killed in a car crash not far from here. I didn't know that until yesterday.
really?
Yeah, so I didn't know that. So anyway, back on track here. This one may sound easy at first.
Okay.
What's the most valuable thing in your life?
The most
Not
valuable
that
thing in my
diamond
life.
ring you're wearing either. I mean something deeper.
Oh yeah. No, my daughter's face popped into my head right away. You know, it's my wife and my daughter are the most valuable part of my life. And you don't know what your purpose is until you know what your purpose is. And I think the moment I found out my purpose, I thought my purpose was just to maybe entertain. I thought maybe that was my purpose on earth. Maybe that's what God put me here to do, is just to make people happy through music. And I still feel that is part of it. But the main purpose of my life was the moment that my daughter was born. I stood there and I saw this miracle happen. My wife is a miracle. And I saw her give birth to our daughter. And that was a moment that I didn't even know was going to impact me as much as it did until it did. And
It changes you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It changes you as who you are.
well, I've said this. Your life is a camera, and you change the lens of that camera when that child is born. That camera lens changes, and it gets wider, and you see different. It's like a room in your house that you never had a door key to, and you open that door for the first time. And it was really special. And so I say the most valuable I think relationships and love are so valuable, but the love you have for your family is the most valuable thing you could possibly have. And my daughter is the most prized possession. You know, she's just an angel.
That answer I probably expected, the rest of them I didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dean Z.
I love you, Tupelo. God bless you. One more time for David Lee. Love that.
Well, one more time. Do it again. Are you still with us? I'm going to slightly change it here just a second, because I don't think it's fair to ask the guys a question without asking the band a question. Are you ready, sir? And just because you're looking down on me, don't mean I can't get to you back there. So, do you have a mic or you need this mic? Are you ready? I know that's the question yet, so stay tuned here. First of all, have you had a good Tupelo Elvis?
Unbelievable, as usual.
I know that what inspires me about you guys is the fact that you are so excited to be here. So that makes us excited because we know you care about what you're doing. Every song has been fantastic. So let me say this for two questions. What is next for the TIC band? And I don't mean the next gig. What is next? Like, what's your vision?
Our vision has always been to be the most authentic, the most creative, the most groundbreaking Elvis band in the world. But not only that, thank you, but it's to honor, as all of these guys do, it's to honor Elvis, but in a slightly different way, because we're honoring the people that were behind Elvis, that made Elvis sound even better than what he already did. And everyone on this stage, you guys, you don't see what we go through and what we put ourselves individually through to get to where we got, and the sacrifices that we make. And we all have families, and we are a long way from home. But we do it to see you in the audience, just like everyone else. And we're very honored to be part of this Tupelo family. And I'm very honored to be asked as the creative director this year. And I guess future-wise is just continue to bring the younger generation. I know that keeps getting said, but it's true. And last night, that was what that was about. And I hope that happened. But yeah, that's just to keep breaking ground, I think, is what our vision is.
Thank you. Great job. Hey, it had to be fair, Jason. I had to ask everybody. Marco and I were talking, unless you've been from Australia to America or vice versa, you don't realize how far that is. It's a long way from home. And then to be away from home, just in general, whether I'm an hour or so away or 15 or 30 hours, you have to have dedication. And it certainly shows in all these guys, doesn't it? One round of applause for the band, please. Excellent job. All right. So this next guy is a great friend of mine. We've become super close over the last couple of years, and I recently had him do exactly what I'm doing, host a gospel festival. And if I tell you his name, you'll be like, what? If you wasn't there, you wouldn't believe it, because you just don't think of him that way. You think of sexy when you see him.
Just like you.
I mean, Bobby Gino. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. But I do want to say this. When we ask him to host the gospel competition at our Clam Lake event, which is held Mother's Day weekend every year, we'd love to have you there. Gunnersville, Alabama. Call us now for tickets. Thank you. He did it. He did it with open arms, and he was a little skeptical himself about doing it. But I don't think I've ever seen anybody do a better job. He did a fantastic job, so much so we've asked him back again next year. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Bill Cherry. And he does look sexy today.
Good afternoon, how y'all doing? Are you feeling the spirit out there? I said, are you feeling the spirit out there? All right, we're going to do a beautiful song, and it's kind of a meaning behind it, and I think everyone has this feeling sometimes. It goes something like that. possible if you only believe. I met God one morning, my soul feels sad. Oh, heavy laden of a fire down in. Well, you lifted all my burdens. Right now I'm feeling glad. All things are possible if you only believe. I believe. Yes, I believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Thank you very much. Woo! You guys changed places from the other night. I look over there and nobody's there. I hear him, but I don't see him. I'm blind in this eye, so I'm just kidding. This next song is a real cool song, and it was written by Chris Christopherson, and it features Vito. Where's he at? There he is. And we'd like to do it for you, and it's called "Why Me, Lord."
Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Tell me, Lord, what did I ever do to deserve loving you and the kindness you show?
Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted. So help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hands.
Try me, Lord, if you think there's a way I can never repay all I've taken from you. Maybe, Lord, someone else, what I've been through myself, on my way back to you.
Lord, help me, Jesus, I'm wasted. So help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Oh yeah. Now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hands. Jesus, my soul's in your hands.
You see, because I'm going to have to read something in a minute after your question, so I thought I might as well, instead of fumbling with them out here. That's the bad part about getting old. Not that you and I know anything about that. So, Bill, I feel well enough with you. I could joke with you, right?
You can joke with me.
No, just did. You didn't.
Anybody dresses like this, you can joke with.
There you go. All right, so Some people know this about you. I've heard you mention it, but I imagine there's a handful out there that don't know this. Tell us what it was like. Oh, yes, sir. You go
Before
right
you go any
ahead,
further,
Mr. Jerry. Yes.
before you go any further, I just have to say that I was not convicted on what you're fixing to do.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's skip that one and move on to something else.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That was good, though. So tell us what it was like to grow up with a father that was a preacher. Did you know that? So
Yeah.
Bill's father was a preacher.
Yeah. So it started out, he was a deacon, and then he became the pastor. And it was Pentecostal. So there was a lot of rocking and rolling and shaking and everything in the church, and it was always exciting to see that. I would always sit in the very back of the room because I was one of those people, I'm quiet and I'm a listener, and you learn more if you just keep your mouth shut and listen to what people say. And so that's what I did. I sat in the back and I would listen to everything that was going on, But very early on, my dad was also the song leader, and he would play the guitar. And me and my other brothers would stand in front of the altar at the church, and he would play a little song, and we would sing it for the church, And those memories, it's like yesterday to me, I can't tell you what I did yesterday, but those I remember. But it was a real blessing, you know what I mean? I grew up with it, and which is another thing that I guess I felt a connection with Elvis with, right? Because of the gospel albums, and all those guys that came out back then, they had the history of that old Southern gospel music, they was raised in it, So I was raised in it as well. I remember going to tent revival, sawdust on the floor, and things like that. I mean, I could still smell it. It was a good thing. Yeah, I really loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. You can clap for that. Go ahead.
you clap for that. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'm speaking, a lot of cutting up between us guys, but I'm speaking sincerely now. At this stage in your career, you and I both have been around a little while, but at this stage in your career, you're still at the top of your game. Like a lot of people look up to you. Your line at the meet and greet next to mine was probably the longest. So write slow, Bill, when you sign an autograph, and the line gets longer.
The line gets longer.
I should have told you that.
I think
most
most of
writing
them,
with both hands.
I think most of them was coming in to get out of the heat.
That could have been, yeah. I felt sorry for Jay was outside, but sorry about this.
Was Jay outside?
Jay was outside. Yeah, I was like, man, Jay got the stacks thing, and then I noticed he was outside. I said, well, it's not so bad in here after all.
Don't be shocked. He looks a little tanner when he comes out.
That's
he
right.
was out in the sun all day. No.
So, in all seriousness, in your life, because we all see what you put on stage, but to you, what does it mean to carry on the legacy, the true legacy of Elvis Presley? What does it mean to you?
So, to me, I was always a fan of Elvis. My whole family were fans, and when I say that, I don't mean there was velvet paintings on our walls or anything like that. It wasn't like that. But I can't think of any relative that I had that didn't own at least one Elvis record, right? And so we had 5, and I still remember it. One was How Great Thou Art, one was Speedway, one was Flaming Star, one was Come On Everybody. We had the cheap Elvis records, the not $1.99 ones, and Let's Be Friends. That's what we had. Yeah, and so. But whenever Elvis was on television, my mother would get in the TV Guide. That's before cable. That's before the TV told you what was on. He had a little book, and it was called a TV Guide. And she would, every week we'd get the new TV Guide. She'd go through that, and she would look and see if there was an Elvis movie on. And back then, you'd catch an Elvis movie at least maybe twice a month, maybe sometimes 3 times, unless you got a triple feature they would show you. And she would say, Bill, Elvis is going to be on TV. You want to watch? And I'd be like, yeah, I want to watch him. I was a little kid. And so we would watch him, and we all know how Elvis felt about movies, but you got to put your head in his mindset at the time, right? Elvis was the king of rock and roll, and he was in these movies, and he didn't like it. But what he didn't realize was that there was little kids watching this guy in race cars, this cool hair, singing, fighting, always winning. And he was like a superhero. I don't remember anybody in movies like Elvis to me, you know what I mean? And so it inspired me, right? And I wanted to, I would watch the movie,
I'd grab one of those records and go in the bedroom and I'd sing with him. And so, and you want to talk about how God works in ways, right? I trained myself vocally to Elvis Presley at a very young age, never knowing that I'd be standing in front of an audience singing his songs and paying tribute to Elvis, right? I didn't know that. So, and thank you very much, really. It's true. I did it for the love of Elvis Presley. I thought he was cool. I was a fan. I'm still a fan, just like you. The only difference is I wear these funny suits now. But I worked in steel factories. I worked in dairies. I've worked, you know, very hard throughout my life, and I just never felt good working for somebody else, you know. And all my life, and true story, you know, I'm not lying to you. Never drank, never smoked. I couldn't tell you what any of it tastes like, because my father was a preacher, and I was scared to death I was going to go to hell. And but depends on what your opinion of hell is. I don't think I've ever been there, but I think I came close to it with a couple of his daughters. But, you know, no, all seriousness, we got laid off at the steel factory, and I was one of those guys that let me clock in at the last minute and let me clock out the first one out. You know, I just didn't want to be there. So we got laid off, and a friend of mine told me about the Ultimate Elvis competition. Now, I did Elvis in the 80s, okay, and I think y'all kind of know how old I am. King Tut was my brother. No. But I don't want to keep up all your time, but I just want to let you know that, you know, we was laid off at the factory. Someone told me about the competition in Memphis. He said, you really need to do that, because he knew that I dabbled in it before. So a friend of mine got me back in the groove of it, and I sharpened up, started singing with the songs again. And in 2009, I won Tupelo, and then I went to Memphis and won Memphis consecutively. And
First guy to do that.
yeah, and it was unreal. I couldn't win a competition to save my soul back in the day, you know what I mean? But sometimes, you know, you don't know what God's plan is for you. I felt like when I stood on that stage, there was 5 of us. I made the top 5, and I was like, wow, I made the top 5. I couldn't believe it. And I'm standing there, and they did a drum roll, and they said, and in 5th place, right? And I thought in my head, it's me. Here I go. They called somebody else, and I was like, oh, I'm in 4th. I got 4th place. I got 4th. This was my mindset, swear to you. I got 4th place. They did a drum roll, and they called somebody else, and I thought, I got 3rd place. Now I'm in the money. I'm laid off. I'm going to get some money now. I'm in 3rd place. They did a drum roll, and they called somebody else. I thought, I got 2nd place. It's more money. And now I'm standing there. They give the big drum roll, right? Your heart's pounding. You're like, here it comes. And in 2nd place, and they called somebody else. That left me standing. And I was like, oh my God, I just won this thing. I want to tell you something. I never, ever was the guy that said, I got this. Because and none of us are Elvis, right? And we all know that. But I just never thought that I could have won that competition. But I did. So to me, they called me back from the layoff at the steel mill, and I turned them down. Because I think when that opportunity comes, when that knock comes on your door, you don't know who's knocking. To me, that was God saying that I'm pulling you up out of the deep miry clay of that dirty, nasty steel factory, and he put me up here, right? Because God saw that, you know, with the Elvis thing, and maybe he put that in my life. I don't know. But through Elvis Presley, this is what I do now for a living, and I've been doing it since 2009. I never want to see another steel mill again. And the closest I get to a flame is singing Burning Love, so thank you. Thank you for that, but that's my thing right there.
Bill, thank you, sir. Before you leave, let me ask the audience a question now. Do you see Elvis in this guy? Get out of here.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Cherry.
Thanks, guys. We love it. Thank you.
Great job, Bill. All right, so I had to